Hey, guys, and today I want to talk about age appropriate and when and what you should be teaching your children, whether you homeschool or whether you don't. Because a lot of people don't understand or don't know or think kids are incapable. Now, I want to talk about cooking because children are very capable at a very young age, as young as 3 and 4, are very capable of helping out in the kitchen. And not only does this teach responsibility, but this also teaches independence. This also leads from one step to the next. So, as you all know, my children are now almost 16 and 17. I also have one that is 24, and I also have one that is 28. So, guys, teaching your kids anything at appropriate stages, like walking, sitting up, brushing their own teeth, all these things make for healthier, more independent, more stabilized children. And if you can do it on a consistent basis, that's even better. Let me tell you something. I had my boys as well as my girls in the kitchen as young as 2 and 3 years old. And what I would do is I would set them on the counter, and anything that needed to be mixed, and you got to know this ahead of time, guys, kids will make a mess. So if you're one of those lazy parents that don't want to clean up anything, then you probably don't want to do this. But kids can, as young as 3 years old, 2, maybe 3, or, anything that needs to be stirred. Cornbread mix, cake mix, scrambled eggs, pancake mix, anything that needs to be mixed, stirred, or whatever, you can hand them a bowl, hand them the whisk. I would suggest, if they're younger, to put it in a plastic bowl because kids are subject to have accidents and they can spill stuff, drop stuff, whatever. If they're older, then if you choose, you can use a glass or a metal bowl. But when my kids were younger, I would hand them the bowl. They would sit on the counter or the deep freezer with the bowl in between their legs and the mixture like this, and they would mix. And of course, you can't just go and cook it straight from there. You might, as the adult, want to go and mix it a little better or run it through your standard kitchen mixer. But this is the beginning of your children being able to cook later for themselves. And this is the beginning of your children being more independent. Now, just because they're becoming independent doesn't mean they won't still need you. So if you're scared to help your children become independent because you have phobias, then that's your problem. Don't hold your children back because of your issues. It'd be the same as not teaching your child to walk because you're scared they're gonna walk off and leave you. Do you want to teach these kids to be independent? And I tell you what, I've so enjoyed homeschooling, guys, because my kids, and like I said, were early ages, were in the kitchen. My boys right now, at the age of, actually he's 15, my youngest, he's almost 16, but he is 15, and then the older one is 17. They both know how to iron. They both know how to run a washer and dryer. They both know how to run a sewing machine. They both know how to hand sew. They both know how to run a vacuum, use a mop, use a dishwasher, as well as hand wash dishes, which they will do a crappy job sometimes when they're in a hurry, but what kid doesn't? But both of them know how to cook a 4 to 5 course meal. They both know how to regrow foods like green onions, tomatoes, potatoes, carrots, things like that. And these are just basic survival things that I've taught them throughout the years that they can run with in their own home as far as running a house, because that's what's required to run a house, as well as they can go out and get jobs as, you know, waiters and dishwashers, cooks, housekeeping, whatever industry they choose to start out in, because they have mastered these simple tasks. So you need to make sure that you're on top of your children learning these tasks, but it's not the public school's job to teach your kid these things. You need to teach your kids these things, as well as whatever other family morals and values that you have that need to be taught to your children. Now, I'm not going to run this one too long, and I didn't really do a video yesterday because I had things I had to go do. But I also want to call attention to children that may smoke, because the day before I did a video on CBD and my life on CBD. And yes, I do. I use CBD for different things. And if you don't know what that is, then feel free to look it up, or feel free to look at the video that I did just under this one. If you have a child that is smoking or drinking, you might want to step in and take care of that, because those issues go deeper than just they're trying to have fun. And they can be very dangerous, and they can also be physically altering to that child. So, you know, guys, just pay attention to your kids, because there's a lot of things going on in our world today that are being forced upon our children that weren't forced upon us when we were children. And it is a scary world to grow up in right now. It's you don't know if your best friend who looks like a girl is actually a girl that used to be a boy, or, you know, and you're going out into the dating world and you don't know if Johnny used to be Jennifer. And, you know, I mean, we have to prepare our kids for so many things, guys. So, you know, keep an eye on them. Pay attention. If your children come home smelling like alcohol, or if your children come home smelling like smoke, or like nicotine or cigarettes or whatever, and I'm not talking about you guys who have kids that doctor recommended, you know, cannabis, or doctor recommended CBD. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is children who will sneak around and smoke marijuana to get high, or drink alcohol to get high, you know. So it's a very dangerous situation, especially if your children are of driving age, or if their friends are of driving age and they're riding around in cars with their friends. So, you know, it's just, with the way the world is going nowadays, we want to teach our children to be independent, but we also want to teach them to be wise, and we don't want to hinder them because we want to keep them under our wings. We want to empower them as parents. We want to give them the knowledge to make wise choices when they're out there with their friends, because kids are going to be kids. They are going to make stupid choices. You just want to make sure that the choices that they stupidly make are harmless. You know, it's one thing to try to do a trick on your bike that you know you shouldn't have, and fall off and hurt yourself, or even break a bone. It's a whole nother thing to be out there thinking it's cool to smoke marijuana and climb in someone's car and end up dead. So, you know, you want to keep an eye on the level of stupidity that your kids are going through, because some of it's age appropriate. Stand back, watch, let them do it. Some of it's not. Intervene, get up there, find out what's going on. Don't fall down on the job and be a lazy parent just because the kids get older. Because as they get older, they not only become more independent, but they become more curious. So that is at the point where you really want to be involved in their lives, and be there to answer questions, and be there to guide them, and be there to help them figure it out. So, Anyway, I am not going to go on a rambling rampage with this one either, because you're either going to step up or you're not, and it will show in the children. It will show in the people of our future. It will show in our presidents, our leaders. It will show in our factory workers. It will show in our child care providers. It will show in our next generation of teachers. It will show in our next generation of doctors and lawyers and, you know, cashiers and scientists, and it'll show. It will show whether you stepped up or whether you didn't in the future generations. So, anyways, look me up, guys. Check me out. I'm all over the web. And like I've been saying in my last few videos, over on Instagram, I am spreading my wings a little bit and doing more arts and craft projects. And so, go check it out and see what I'm doing. And if you like it, do it. And if you don't, it's all good. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you don't, it's all good. So, you know, guys, you get me the way I am. I don't edit these videos because I'm just me, and I'm not trying to do some stupid ass skit where, oh God, I need followers and I need to get the fucking thumbs ups, because, you know, it's cool if I do and it's cool if I don't. And life goes on, and I am who I am, and hopefully you can be who you are and allow your kids to be who they are all at the same time, while allowing them to move forward in life and express themselves safely and respectfully. All right, guys, today is Wednesday, and it is 10:59 in my world, and I think it is February the 26th. It is February. Hold on. I think it's the 26th. It is the 26th. So, it is February the 26th in my world. So, guys, have a great rest of the day.